Now, just because you're stuck indoors does not mean you cannot enjoy a spot of photography. But Ben, how are we going to do this? Well, it's a good job you asked, because I have some answers. Hello and welcome to Tribe Called Cars. My name is Ben Griffin, and today I'm going to give you 5 ways to practice photography, because sadly most of us are stuck indoors and there really is not much we can do about this. It's just the way it is. But if you're a photographer, that doesn't mean you have to stop improving your skills, as I'm now going to show you. But first, a little bit of housekeeping. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all of that stuff. And also, if you've got car photos, send them to me. I'd like to do a video where I show them off and maybe even edit them to make them better. Assuming I need to, of course, because there are some incredibly talented people out there, way more talented than I am. The email address is in the description, so go check that out. Now, number 1 is use racing games. The real outdoors might be off limits, but who says you can't get happy snappy in a digital setting? No one, that's who. Well, maybe a mum or dad. Anyway, games such as Forza Horizon 4 and Project Cars 2 have camera modes, and some are even comprehensive enough to let you adjust depth of field, motion blur, and focal length, just like with a real camera. So take out your favorite steed and see what you can come up with. Number 2 is all about portraits. Now, if you like portrait photography, you can find yourself a willing subject in your household who you can practice on. This can be a person or pet, doesn't really matter. Although expect them to misbehave and chew the sofa. The pet, that is. Well, maybe not. Or if you can cope with your own face and body, try self-portraits instead. Just use the timer function. Usually that's 2, 5, or 10 seconds long. Or consider buying a remote. If your camera has a burst function, as in it takes lots of photos in rapid succession, that could be good to use as well, because it means you can see which of your poses is, at least in my case, the least terrible. Why bother? Because portrait photography is a great way to learn the importance of lighting, how to experiment with framing, make the best of an inflexible location, and work with a subject, to name a few things. Because half the battle is getting your subject to do what you want in a relaxed and non-awkward fashion. Number 3 is all about bringing the outdoors in. Back when Pong was a thing, it would have been difficult to take pretty landscapes in a video game. Fortunately though, graphics have come on a long way. No Man's Sky, for instance, is incredibly pretty, and that makes taking photographs in the game particularly satisfying. More than that though, it can help teach you the rules of landscape photography, as in what works and what doesn't. Not all games have a photo mode, admittedly, but the ones that do could be pretty fun to mess around with. And even if not, you can always use the print screen button on PC and then paste to Paint or Photoshop or any image editing program. On console, you can use the share button, screenshot, and if you're really desperate, take a picture on your phone. Number 4 is get up close and personal. Macro photography is basically taking photos of small things up close, no jokes. This can be insects, although if you're afraid of creepy crawlies like I am, you may want to pick something else. Like a toy car, for instance. This one here being one of my absolute favorites of all time, the Shelby Cobra. Opening the aperture up wide to increase the amount of bokeh, or depth of field, is not just pretty, it actually makes your subject stand out from the background and hide the fact you still haven't tidied your bedroom. Come on now, you said you'd do it. Aperture can be adjusted in the aperture priority or manual modes of a camera, or sometimes on the lens if it's a little bit more old school or expensive. Many smartphones have a manual mode as well, so don't think you need a fancy camera. Zoomy long focal lengths like 90mm plus are usually best for this job, as they let you get closest to your subject. Just bear in mind that most lenses have a minimum focusing distance. You can even use photography lights or a desk lamp or anything with a bulb basically to improve the finished result. Hell, you can even use wrapping paper, a page, or photography paper to give yourself a cool backdrop. And my 5th and final suggestion is use what you have already. Now, even if you absolutely hated my previous ideas, fear not, oh judgmental one. You can practice photo editing by editing photos. Funnily enough. You don't even have to use Photoshop or Lightroom, as there are so many free or cheap apps for your smartphone and PC that do a similar thing. There have been times when I've been away on a press trip and I've had to use the website Pixlr, anyway, which is a website editing tool, and it's actually pretty good. Even Paint 3D can do the job. Whatever you end up using, you can Google technique tutorials to make your photos better, such as sky swap, framing, converting to black and white, adding bokeh, removing blotchy skin, and just about anything else you can imagine. The main point is you find some cool photos and just have fun, because right now that can be in pretty short supply. And on that note, I hope you found the video useful. Subscribe, like, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Take care, bye.